I have a confession to make. I pretty much copy all of my videos from other YouTubers. Well, not in terms of actual content. That would be plagiarism, I would get copyright strike, that would be bad. But in terms of where the inspiration comes from, and sometimes even just the execution of the video as a whole. So today, I'm going to do a bit of the behind the curtain look of where I get my inspiration from, what I watch on YouTube, and how I drag it from other realms and pull it into iRacing and create a whole new thing. But first, I want to thank you all for helping me reach 5,000 subs. It's absolutely crazy. I can't believe we've gotten to this point, and especially this amount of time in iRacing. So I feel really blessed to have you all along for the ride with me. And to help thank you all, I'm going to run a hosted event with some very fun prizes, but I want to have your input on where we want this to be. It'll be this Saturday, week 13 at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, and I'm going to put a poll up on YouTube, so go search for that in my community tab for the tracks that have been featured in recent videos, some of the wacky fun tracks, and where you guys want to race on. And whichever one wins the poll, we'll do a hosted event with some very fun prizes, including this Mickey Mouse trophy to the winner, among some other fun prizes. So let's get right to the video. So my tendency to plagiarize started with the very first video, and that would be this ARCA qualifying guide for Atlanta Secrets 2022. And the reason that this video was even made was because I basically was following the footsteps of PD Resh, aka Philip. And you can see here he had videos where he even had the blown up gas and brake inputs like I did later on. I wasn't that good at the beginning. I went into this not knowing how to edit a single thing except for just like posting gameplay. So you can see here he basically just did a hot lap, multiple perspectives, which I don't even do. That's pretty cool. And then the track guide. And I basically did the exact same thing, except he stopped making the videos, so I started making the videos. And so you can see, very bare bones. Welcome to my channel. I'm Justin. I race a lot of ARCA, and I thought... Man, my mic was set so poorly back then. So yeah, it wasn't even edited. I just went out on the track, did a video, and then looked at the replay. And it was until like maybe 3 or 4 videos later where I even started trying to edit the videos, which was pretty funny. And then speaking of trying to edit the videos, away with it. What was another inspiration was Khan Academy, and here's a video that I used to somehow not fail multivariable. But what I did in my later guides, and I still do to this day, is this sort of telestrator effect, which I just do inside the native Windows Movies and TV app. You can actually just draw on a video, which is pretty cool. And what I figured out when I was trying to realize, well, how am I going to make these videos better? I was thinking, well, how do I learn? And I realized that in college and in high school and all that, I learned the best when I was watching somebody draw something live, like a telestrator. Like I was in the middle of a lecture, except I could fast forward, maybe speed up, rewind, whatever. And
boundary,
you can see
the
here,
boundary is the region.
I don't remember any of this anymore, which is probably good. And so you can see he just it goes along the way with the telestrator effects, and I kind of copied that with my own way. So that was pretty much how the guides have evolved and what I have taken inspiration from and so on. And so the next type of video I ended up making was iRacing, get faster in 5 minutes, NASCAR oval brake bias guide in 2022. I guess I should update that, huh? It's still applicable. So this was one of the very first videos I made. I made it in January 21st, 2022. And I basically went into the idea saying, I'm going to copy PBS Space Time because this is one of my favorite series. I actually use it to go to sleep, which I guess is a little weird that it's one of my favorite series, but the way that they break down like super duper intensely difficult concepts into visualization and not going too fast, not going too slow, that was sort of the approach I wanted to take with something that some people may find difficult, like iRacing. And I think a lot of people find it difficult, but at the time I felt like I could present it in a way. And now, was I able to edit very well? No, and I'm still not a great editor, but I came up with some pretty cool graphics. You can see here, this graphic was like directly inspired by the graphics that PBS Space Time makes. this was sort of the kind of the way that I wanted my videos to go. And you can see for all of the guys that I did, I kind of did the same thing. Sometimes I got lazy and didn't do as many graphics, but it was the same idea going through. So this is how I ended up doing it more recently. You might remember this video. And then this was obviously a spiritual successor, aka just almost copying Shieldhouse's video. I just felt like there was a couple more tips that I wanted people to know, and I was like, well, might as well present it in the way Shieldhouse did because his video did really well. So that was kind of funny, and that worked out pretty well for me too. So the next type of video I tried making was top 10 videos. I pretty much had that inspired by a channel called the Dual Logs. He has a bunch of channels, but this is the one that I watch. And we'll go back to Yu-Gi-Oh! YouTube later, but the funny thing about Yu-Gi-Oh! YouTube
in this video,
is that I don't play Yu-Gi-Oh! At all, and for some reason I watch a crap ton of Yu-Gi-Oh! YouTube. And why is that? I don't really know, but I've been trying to figure that out and trying to kind of extend that into iRacing so that maybe people that aren't necessarily playing iRacing, interested in iRacing, might like the videos. So you can see here he just does top 10 videos that are kind of well presented, and they have like text sometimes coming up on the screen. But he talks about, yeah, like that. And so I tried that type of video with top 10 tips to win at Daytona, and it didn't do that well. You can see I pretty much, with my bad editing skills, I pretty much copied exactly what he did. It didn't do that well, but I think it was because of the way I clickbaited it more than anything. It was more successfully done later with other videos like this one where I got a crap ton of views for seemingly no reason, but it was because it was a proven formula done by other channels. You kind of just count down, talk about some things that people might be interested in. But why is this number 4 on the list? And this is actually, and it includes some surprising things that people won't generally think about, and that's kind of how that went along. So the next type of video, so I'm gonna lump a lot of these commentary type videos together, but the one that was the most successful thus far was why I quit iRacing after 3,000 iRating. And this one is actually directly inspired by Austin Ogonowski. Maybe a bit of a controversial figure in the sim racing community, especially in iRacing, but what Austin helped me realize specifically was that people would just want to hear others talk about iRacing. That I don't think there was enough of that at the time, where there was a lot of racing, there was a lot of obviously just gameplay and stuff, because I mean iRacing's the game, so there's going to be gameplay videos, but there wasn't a lot of content dedicated to people just talking about it. And I was like, well, I'm a talker, I'll talk about it. And so that ended up working out really well. That was really the first type of video that consistently got me views, was these commentary videos where I would come up with the topic and I would just talk about it. So this one was a little earlier, but it was kind of the first real edited video I did. Was the most toxic iRacing race ever, the movie. And this might remind you of JD McHaley nowadays, but this was a little bit before his time. I did this 10 months ago. Before his time. It's kind of a funny way to put it when it's only been 10 months, but that one was directly inspired by Lul, where he did the iRacing funny moments a long time ago, and he still does them, I think, a little more sporadically, but these were the ones that I'm in this one actually. Take a look at this. Look at that, Justin. I was a pickup cup farmer back in the day. See, I was a D class. I'm not lying to you guys. I was a D class pickup cup farmer for 2 years, and this was one of those years. And it was pretty much directly inspired. I wanted to have my own take on that, and when somebody provided me a really toxic replay, I was just like, I'm gonna do it.
Sorry about that, guys.
And it was done pretty well. I think if I remade it today, it would be a lot better, but I had like no editing know-how going into this video, and so I'm pretty proud of it. I'm pretty proud of that video. And then the next type of video, where I think we're gonna go back to the Yu-Gi-Oh thing, because one of the channels that I really watch a lot of, his name is DZeef, and what he does is he takes Yu-Gi-Oh, which is just a card game on its surface and super complicated, but he makes kind of a game show out of it by doing different types of challenges, weekly series, like spinning a wheel to figure out what pack you're gonna choose from, whereas I had a very suspiciously similar idea to do this with people like Nebon, Gavin, and I like this series a lot. I wish it did a little bit better with views, but I knew that it was kind of not the most broad appealing video that I made. But you see, a little bit directly inspired, huh? So some sort of like game show type appeal. And I want to do more of these in the future, but I kind of want to condense the idea and kind of come back with something a little more polished than what I had, but I'm working on it. So on the surface 5 iRacing tracks nobody's ever raced on. This might seem like it was inspired again by one of those top 10 videos, but really what this video was almost copy word for word. I tried to make my script exactly like his, is Scott the Woz. One of my favorite channels on YouTube. If you don't watch Scott the Woz and you're into video games in general, then you need to be watching this channel because it is probably some of the highest quality stuff on YouTube. And wait, listen to the intro if you haven't heard him already, and you might be familiar.
Hey y'all, Scott here.
Wait a second, that sounds familiar. Hey guys, Justin here. So I copy people down to my intro. I just copy everywhere, and I mean that's the key to success. You just take what works somewhere and put it somewhere else. I pretty much tried to do. I couldn't do as many jokes as he does because I can't spend that much time writing and trying to be funny, but I did little skits. I tried to break up stuff with little skits here and there like he does. And instead of talking about video games, I talk about Ohio ovals. So this one is the big one, right? So in terms of effort, in terms of on the nose copying, but yeah, this is pretty much a copy of virtual.
Pioneers. Throughout human history, pioneers have always been met with doubt.
And I mean, it makes sense, right? It's a racing game. Racing has always been about finding the limit. I mean, it's pretty on the nose, but that's okay. I wanted to make a virtual video for iRacing. That's what I went in for, and I'm glad that a lot of people got it in the comments. I see what you did there. Yeah. Everyone thought that it was. Everyone kind of, if they watched virtual, I'm glad they made the connection because that means I did something right. The reason I'm doing all this in the first place is because, one, I want to see this type of concept in iRacing, and two, I have fun doing it. I won't make a video that I don't have fun doing, except sometimes the guides aren't fun, but I do that to help people, so that's the exception. And the guides are only not fun when I suck, so, all relative speaking. Okay, and then the last couple types here. So another very on the nose one. I mean, what more do you got to say about this one? I went into it saying it was a copy of Jimmy, but Jimmy doesn't do oval crashes, so I'll do oval crashes, And then finally, just the iRacing news again. Like you might think Keemstar, and I think Keemstar as well, but another one I watch a lot of Ludwig. So mogul male type beat for this one. People like the news. That's why news stations exist. Our generation might say, "Oh, I don't like the news." Well, we watch the news in different forms, and this was kind of proven where I get 10,000 views for talking about a post on the iRacing forum. But other than that, that pretty much covers all the types of videos I've ever made, and guess what? All of them are pretty much just directly inspired and almost copied from other YouTubers, and I think that's okay, and I want to see more people try different stuff, bring other types of content into the iRacing sphere because I think it just makes everything a lot more fun. But anyways, thank you all for watching. Thank you all again for 5K subscribers. It's absolutely insane. I'm not slowing down yet, and I have a lot more in store for you guys, and I'm just gonna keep going till I stop having fun, and that doesn't seem like it's gonna be anytime soon. So thank you all for watching. Hope you all have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you all on the track.